She stepped into the towering corporate building wearing a modest dress and shoes that had seen better days. Heads turned. Whispers followed. She didn't look like a serious candidate to the people inside, just a simple woman with no business in this place. But what none of them realized was that she didn't need their approval. Her name wasn't just written on the resume in her hands. It was written in the company's future. And by the end of the day, she would shake the foundation of everything they thought they knew. Maya Thompson had always believed in building her future with grit, not handouts. Though married to a successful CEO, she never let his name open doors for her. After leaving her job in nonprofit management to raise their children, she was ready to return to work. Wait a second. In the comments, tell us where you're watching from, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. She chose a company she respected with bold values and a mission aligned with her passion for social impact. Ironically, that company was her husband Ethan's most recent acquisition, though she applied anonymously to avoid any special treatment. She submitted her application, passed initial screenings, and was invited for an in-person interview. But as she walked into the conference room wearing no designer brands or expensive makeup, the air grew thick with judgment. When Maya introduced herself, the three panelists looked her up and down. One even stifled a laugh. They didn't bother hiding their skepticism. "This is a leadership position," the lead interviewer said, his tone dripping with condescension. "Are you sure you applied for the right job?" She answered calmly, outlining her decade of nonprofit leadership, team-building experience, and success in expanding community programs under tight budgets. But they weren't listening. They were too distracted by her appearance, her soft-spoken demeanor, and what they assumed was a lack of confidence. One of them interrupted her mid-sentence. "We're looking for someone who can command a room. No offense, but you seem out of your depth." Another chimed in. "This isn't a charity organization. It's a high-performance environment." Within minutes, the interview was over. There were no questions about her skills, and no respect for her achievements. A security guard was even called to escort her out when she asked if she could leave feedback on the process. Outside the building, she stood in silence, her heart aching, not from rejection but from the clear prejudice they'd shown. She wasn't just dismissed. She was humiliated. 3 hours later, that same building buzzed with sudden activity. The CEO had scheduled an unexpected meeting. Staff whispered among themselves, why was Ethan Thompson visiting in person? He arrived not with an entourage, but with purpose. The same interviewers sat nervously in the boardroom, unaware of what was coming. Ethan stood at the front, holding a folder. "Today I reviewed an interview file that disturbed me," he said, locking eyes with the very people who had mocked his wife. A candidate with exceptional qualifications, decades of leadership, proven community impact, was dismissed without real consideration. Worse, she was mocked for how she looked. The room fell dead silent. "Her name is Maya Thompson," he continued, "and she's my wife. She applied under a different name because she wanted to earn this role, not have it handed to her. And what you showed her today is everything this company stands against." One of the interviewers tried to apologize, but Ethan raised a hand. "Save it. You have no place in this organization if you can't recognize talent because it's not wearing a designer suit." By the end of the day, 2 of the panelists were dismissed from their positions. The company sent out a formal internal memo recommitting to unbiased hiring practices. Ethan apologized to Maya and asked her to help lead the company's new diversity and inclusion initiative. Maya agreed, although she was still hurt, because change doesn't come from walking away. It comes from stepping into uncomfortable rooms and refusing to be silenced. News of the incident quietly spread throughout the company and beyond. Staff began reevaluating their own biases, and hiring processes were revised. Maya's story became more than just office gossip. It became a wake-up call. Not every woman would have had the courage to stand tall after such humiliation, and not every company would have owned its failure. But Maya's grace under pressure and Ethan's unwavering support sparked a cultural shift that reminded everyone that titles and wealth don't determine someone's worth. Character does. And sometimes, the person you dismiss today could be the one leading you tomorrow. If you enjoyed this story and thought it provoking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful narratives. Let us know your thoughts in the comments.